I'm Perry Red. This is Socially Speaking. I just want to take a minute to share with you our commentary from the other side of the tracks. Well, here we are, middle of the year, 2020, and I want to say I told you so, but I'm not. Although I can, although I should, although I will. I did tell you so. I told you so because white arrogance is the most deadly thing that America can encounter.
Within a week and a half, we should be in great shape, maybe soon.
Now, the virus that we're talking about having to do, a lot of people think that goes away in April with the heat.
Because of all we've done, the risk to the American people remains very low. People die from the flu, and this is very unusual. And it is a little bit different, but in some ways it's easier, and in some ways it's a little bit tougher. But we have it so well under control. View this the same as the flu. When somebody sneezes, I try and bail out as much as possible. It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear. And from our shores, it could get worse before it gets better. It could maybe go away. We'll see what happens. Nobody really knows. The fact is
that we had governors all across the country saying that they're not going to shut down, that this virus was a hoax. Listen, folks, here's the deal. People are dying. And what's sad is a lot of those people believed your so-called president when he wouldn't wear a mask, when he was advocating keeping life normal and that the virus would just go away, when you had the top and the leading health experts saying otherwise.
I do think the fall and the winter of 2020 and 2021 are going to be probably one of the most difficult times that we've experienced in American public health.
Now he's threatening to withhold federal funding for states that don't send their kids back to school in the fall.
American investment in education is a promise to students and their families. If schools aren't going to reopen and not fulfill that promise, they shouldn't get the funds.
I'll say this. If you send your kids back to school in the fall, you're a fool. You are as big a fool as your so-called president. Listen, he's spending great time and effort to attack Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Great. I disagree with him. Dr. Fauci said don't wear masks, and now he says wear them. And he said numerous things. Don't close off China. Don't ban China.
Let me ask you a question. Someone who attacked protesters exercising their First Amendment rights, someone who used the Bible as a prop to make a political statement to his base, would you trust a dictator or a doctor?
Have you been briefed by the CDC? Are the words about a pandemic at this point?
No, we're not at all, and we have it totally under control. We have it under control. It's going to be just fine.
Who will you trust with your kids' health?
Mr. President, please listen to your public health experts instead of denigrating them. Do your job, Mr. President.
You can trust respected medical authorities. I believe I'm one of them, so I think you can trust me. But I would stick with respected medical authorities who have a track record of telling the truth.
Who will you trust with your own health? Understand this. They're talking about reopening the country. Reopen? Well, Texas is backtracking. That's right. Eating their words, eating crow. And there are a lot of southern states that are doing the same thing. Right now, 41 states across the country are seeing a rise in coronavirus cases. Listen, Russell Westbrook of the NBA, one of the most prolific basketball players in the league, just tested positive. And he said something that I said over 3 months ago: take this virus seriously. Your life depends on it, and the people you love depend on it. I hate watching the news and seeing so many people crying over their loved ones.
Even though they're not my kids, to know that if one of them were to pass away because they got sick, because they just want to come into school and learn, is atrocious.
I take it serious, and I can't deny that Barbara and I, we have quarantined ourselves for the most part. I'm really glad that she's blessed enough to be able to work from home. And as for me, because I'm basically operating as an unemployed person, as a retired person, I work from home too. It's not been easy for some folks. For me, it's fine. I mean, life could be worse. And that's the thing that bothers me. All the people who cry and bitch, whine, moan, and complain.
Reopening. You are in violation of my constitutional rights and my...
We're back to square one. We're left out here. 1 minute you can open, 1 minute you can't, and then you can, and now you can't again. It's just like back and forth, back and forth. It's so hard.
Oh man, we gotta open up some stuff.
I can't go outside. I can't get my Pilates. People are dying. That's why this is the most arrogant episode in Americans' history. And Americans should be ashamed, but of course they're not. Listen, Florida, Ron DeSantis, the governor, he was in denial mode. 15,000 cases on Sunday, and on Monday, another 13,000 new coronavirus positive tests.
And you are misleading the public. Over 4,000 people have died, and you are blaming the protesters. You guys have no plan, and you're doing nothing. Shame on you. You should resign, Ron DeSantis.
When is enough enough? Exchanging arrogance for your life is not a fair trade. Don't get caught in that horse deal. You won't win that race.